Come on out. We got business to take care of.
I've been waiting for a day like this. The room is spinning no more. Feet are back on the floor. I miss. I've been changing, but I'm optimistic that some bliss really exists outside. Wide-eyed at the risk, but I'm peaced out. I'm windows down and I'm off the grid and I'm out of town. I'm West Coast, that magic out, that sun kiss, that's all about. It's about time that I out my doubts about the drought. I weather now. Why couldn't something good amount by other routes life finds? I'll fall in love with the world again when I step into the light. I wanna run like a wanted man. What a time to be alive. I'll fall in love with the world again when I step into the light. I wanna run like a wanted man. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Hey now, run it back for my brothers. Cause I'm the sum of my summers. Wonderkind with the sunburn bumping, mumble rap in the suburbs. Keep the fit but don't touch. Tweak the mix for those subs. No slowing up, so let's blow it up. Still growing up. I'll fall in love with the world again when I step into the light. I wanna run like a wanted man. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. I'll fall in love with the world again when I step into the light.
Eagle Nation, it is your president of all things Field Day, Coach Galloway, and I'm here to say welcome back to Field Day. I'm proud to say that on Tuesday, May 24th, rain or shine, we will have another epic Field Day. And as I was getting ready for this, I thought about how could I share my love for Field Day with all of you? What could I do? And I thought, what if I sat down and just wrote a letter? Like got my paper, my pencil, my pen, and I just started writing, you know, something like, Dear Noble. But then I said, how many people would really appreciate a handwritten letter like that? I mean, maybe 2, maybe 3 people, I don't know. Maybe more? So we'll stick to the video for now. As we get ready for Field Day, I want you to know that this is not Fun Day. Field Day is so much more than Fun Day. Field Day is exciting, it's challenging, it's competitive. Make sure you understand me. Field Day is not some bless your heart event. This is the real deal. This is a challenge that you will remember forever. So, what are you working for? What are you trying to get other than bragging rights? You're trying to win trophies. We have overall championship trophies for 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. You might win a Powerhouse Price tug-of-war trophy, like the bat or the ghost or the pumpkin. And then, of course, what everyone battles for, a creative entrance, team spirit, cleanliness off the field, cheering, sportsmanship. You're trying to win a Spirit Award, whether it's the Pirate Koala of 6th grade or the world-renowned Chuck Norris of 7th grade, and of course, the easily misidentified 8th grade Spirit Award, Cleopatra. All of those things work together to make our Field Day so epic and legendary. Now, as you compete in 10 crazy events, you're winning points. If your team gets first place, it's 10. Second place is 7. Third place, you get 5. Everybody else, you get 3 points. And if your teachers are brave enough to take the field with you, they get bonus points as well. Now, in addition to all of this, you got to keep showing your team spirit. You got to have a team flag. We've given you the template, and we need those back by Friday, May 20th. Now, before we get to the video demonstrations, I want to remind you of the rules of field day. Number 1, it's all about having fun. Number 2, you got to wear proper shoes. I know some of you love your slides, but you got to leave them at home for field day. Number 3, stay in the designated areas. Respect the boundaries that we have for field day. Number 4, there is no arguing with referees whatsoever. Number 5, we want to see a good, clean, fair field day. Show sportsmanship, and of course, no foul language. If your team is cussing on the field, you will be penalized big time. And then number 6, we want you to clean up after yourselves. Take all of your trash with you. Keep Noble looking great. And that's all there is to it. Field day is going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be one of the best days of the year, and I'm excited I get to be there with you. So, Coach Galloway signing off. Sincerely. All right, our very first game for the 2022 field day is Pool Noodle Polo. This is a 4-player game, and you are going to ride your horse. That's right, ride your horse across the field while hitting a ball using a pool noodle. Key rules that we're going to be monitoring. First, ride your horse. Don't drag it behind you. Don't hold it out to the side. Ride that horse. Second, you must be holding the pool noodle in the center of the pool noodle. And finally, as you go about this game, you have to make sure that the only thing touching the ball is the pool noodle itself. No kicking, no rolling, just the pool noodle hitting the ball. Once you've had all 4 players successfully complete the task and they're sitting down with their flag raised, we've got a winner. And our second game is the Hula Hoop Chain Relay Race. This is a game for 5 players. You will rush across the field and you will link up. You will connect to each other. Then you must move the hula hoop from your starting cone through the line without breaking your connection. And once it gets to the last person in your line, you must then establish the pivot point. Everybody staying connected will rotate forward. You must rotate forward and then do it again. Move the hula hoop through your chain, through your line. Once it gets to the end, you rotate forward. The judges will be watching to make sure that you stay connected. The judges will be watching to make sure that you are not moving your line across the field by shuffling your feet. You must stay in your spots. Once you get across the field and you have one player straddling the finish cone and you move the hula hoop down the line and you get it right over the cone, you drop it, you get everybody behind the cone, and you raise your flag, and that is how you win this game. And now it's time for the traditional, the classic, the 4x1 relay. This is a 4-person event, and your homeroom teacher should assign each person a number. That will be their starting position in this race. If you look at the overhead diagram of Field Day Arena, you will see 1, 2, 3, 4. Numbers 1 and 3 are responsible for the longest parts of this race. Numbers 2 and 4 will have the shortest parts of the race. Use that for your strategic purposes. You want clean handoffs, you want swift feet, and you need to understand that you're racing the clock, not racing each other. The top times will get top points. Now, let's go to our video demonstration.
You gotta be at your cone. You can't be too far ahead.
All right, in the words of Jada, don't be slow, bro. All right, 4x1, on your mark, get set.
Word games, Wordle, 100% success rate. Hope everybody's doing well. Descrambled revolutionized the word game. We're gonna get into Descrambled. When we play Descrambled, you gotta be thinking, what am I trying to solve? Like, what am I trying? Hello? Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I can't believe he's going to be in concert coming this close to Wilmington. Yeah, Kenansville. Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I saw Travis in concert. Amazing. June 25th. Yeah. I got another call coming in. I didn't really have another call coming in. I just wanted to get back to my word game, like descrambled. You're going to have letters on one side of the field. You got to get them across to the other side of the field. And then you got to take all those letters and you've got to descramble them and make a secret phrase. Not just a word, but a phrase. Wouldn't it be something in Wordle? They added numbers to it? Come on. Words. They're used for so many different things, and they just come across at just the most random times. Cut that. Let's go again.
Don't mess it up.
Words. People use them, people print them, people type them. I use them all the time. I mean, I'm not like part of some conspiracy theory. I'm not part of some like worldwide prophecy ring or anything like that. But words are important, no doubt about it. And when I think about words and the inspiration that come with them, I'm gonna move this way. For no particular reason. Because you can just get random letters. Just random letters. They don't add up to anything. They don't add up to anything. So as I was saying, words. They come in all languages, shapes, sizes. Add them together for phrases. What are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with them? Now, I probably said too many words. Anyways, rather than me talk about it, let's go to the videotape. Let's look at a demonstration, as some of your classmates have already prepared. Roll the footage, Mark. All right, as we get into the video demonstration here, I want you to pay attention. We have 6 people on the field, 4 people are holding the rope. The other 2 will either be bringing a letter to the rope or taking a letter off of the rope. Now, as the author of these rules, I want to make sure that you can hear and understand me when I explain them, no matter what substitute device we may be utilizing right now. There is only 1 letter on the line at a time. If a judge sees 2 or more letters on the rope, that is going to be a 3-second penalty, and that will definitely cost your team. Think about strategies that your team can use during this game. Once you have all the letters across the field, then you need to run and get together and begin to descramble the secret phrase. Each grade level has their own secret phrase, so there will not be any copycat answers. 8th grade, I will say this. You have a secret phrase, but then if you can give us the second part of it, that will be a bonus point for you and your team. So think about that, and we will see you on the field. The water balloon toss is finally back at Field Day. Students have been asking for this game to return for a while, and this is the perfect year to bring it back. You will send 2 people from your homeroom to be on a team, and the object of this game is to be the last team standing with a water balloon intact. Each round will consist of 2 throws, and your team has to successfully complete each throw in order to advance to the next round. In between rounds, we will increase the distance between the players, making each round much more difficult. If your water balloon breaks for any reason, then you will be eliminated from the game and you must sit down. You need good hands You need good communication and maybe a little luck as you play this refreshing game at Field Day. The Sponge Bucket Relay has had many editions in Field Day history. This is the back-to-back edition. You will have 6 players on your team. You will partner up and you have to carry a soaked sponge across the field back to back. Once you get across the field, you then must squeeze as much water as you can out of that sponge while staying connected back to back into your bucket. When you have finished squeezing, you can then turn, release, and run back across the field. Hand your sponge off to your teammates so they can re-soak and do it all over again. This is a timed event. It's not a matter of racing all 6 people across the field. You have 3 minutes to do this as many times as you can. Once 3 minutes is up, we will stop you. We will then measure and weigh the water to see who is the winner of this event. Now, this is difficult, so we're modifying it. Once you are at the bucket, you can use your hands to squeeze as long as you stay connected back to back. If a judge sees you disconnected and squeezing, there will be a penalty. So make sure you follow the rules and have fun in the Sponge Bucket Relay. One of the most popular games in Field Day history is definitely Jump the Creek. This is an exciting and intense competition that requires 2 players from your homeroom. You will send 1 boy and 1 girl to the middle of Field Day Arena. Each round, their task is to run and jump the creek. As long as they clear it, they don't touch either rope or land in the middle, they stay in the game. Each round, the creek will increase in distance, making it a little more challenging. Trust me, this is one of the greatest displays of middle school athleticism that you will find, and it's one of the best things going at the NOBLE Field Day. This is the Barefoot Bucket Balance Challenge. Now that's difficult to say, and trust me, it's even more difficult to actually complete. This is a 4-player game, so when your team from your homeroom goes to participate in this challenge, they will have to balance a bucket of water using only their feet, and then, one at a time, they will have to remove 1 shoe, and they will keep going until all 8 shoes are off. And you have to do this without spilling any water or spilling the bucket completely. It is so difficult. It takes trust, it takes communication. It can be a little bit frightening because at any minute there could be a weeble, a wobble, and the next thing you know, well, yeah, could get refreshing real quick, if you know what I mean. First team to get it done in the fastest time will be declared the winner. All right, the limbo, and I'm going to tell you right away what not to do. These are things that will get you disqualified. There's something called the lunge strategy. That is illegal. There is the sideways turn. That is against the rules. Then there is ducking your head under the bar. No, no, no. And then, of course, touching the ground. That is one of the most illegal of maneuvers that we can see in the limbo world. So please make sure you pay attention to all of those things of what not to do. Otherwise, you will be disqualified from the game. As we get into the actual demonstration, though, this is a 2-player game. Your homeroom teacher can send any 2 people that they want. There is no requirement. It can be boy-girl, 2 boys, 2 girls. It does not matter. Whichever 2 players, though, are going to give you the best opportunity to win these points, you got to send them out there. What you are watching here with this demonstration, these 2 were the finalists for 6th grade limbo last year. And this was a fun little rematch that we did. Both are highly skilled in this contest. I would expect them to be possible contenders in 7th grade, but ultimately stay under the bar, stay in the game, be flexible, and have fun. Rock Tree Bridge. This is one of the biggest and best games that we have in our Field Day catalog. Your homeroom will put together a team of 10 players. The first 9 are going to build a human obstacle course. Player 1 is a rock. Player 2 is a tree. Player 3 is a bridge. The next players will repeat that sequence 2 more times. As you create the obstacles, There are physical requirements that you must complete. You must jump over rocks, you must go around trees, and you must crawl under bridges. Another major rule that judges will be monitoring: there is only one person moving at a time. So do not start running to build your obstacle if the person in front of you is still moving. You will have a 3-second penalty. The 10th and final player has the responsibility of running the course forwards all the way through the obstacles, go around the cone, and then work your way back through the obstacles. And once you get back to your starting cone, exhausted as you are, sit down, raise your flag, and let us know that you have won the game. And we are jumping into tug of war. And one of the first things we want to talk about is safety. When you go and set your team up and you grab the rope, you must make sure that you are holding the loops. We're not wrapping the rope around our arm. We're not wrapping the loops around our wrist. Those are dangerous. We don't want to do that. So as we get into the video demonstration, this is a 10-person team. Your homeroom teacher, your field day manager, field day coach can set it up however they want. There is no restrictions, no requirements. It could be 10 boys, 10 girls, 5 and 5, doesn't matter. Just send your best to the field. And then when you grab that rope, you're trying to pull that flag in the middle over to your side of the field. When it's all said and done, there will be one champion, and I hope it's your team. We'll see you on the field. If it's raining on field day, we will simply move inside. We are proactively selecting 3 alternate games that would replace the 3 water games that we can obviously not bring indoors. The players that sign up for the water events outside will be automatically moved over into these 3 alternate events: Hungry Hippos, Peas in a Pod, and the basket flip. So as we look at these games coming up, let's go to Hungry Hippos. This is a 2-player game. The object of the game is for your team to go and find its hippo food, which is identically numbered as your team. For example, team number 1 looking for hippo food labeled number 1. You can only move around the court wheelbarrow style. You can place one knee down on the floor while you are searching for food. That is perfectly fine. You can hand the food back to your teammate. They can place it in the basket. This is a timed event, 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to find as much hippo food as possible. When you are finished, you need to go back to your starting cone carefully, because any food that falls out of your basket will not count. And if you find that golden ball, that is indeed a bonus point for your team. And we switch now quickly to Peas in a Pod. This is a 6-player game. 2 people will be working in tandem. They will hold pool noodles at the specially marked ends. They will run across the floor. They will scoop up and pick up 1 dodgeball using only the noodles to carry the dodgeball. You take it back to your team, you transfer ownership. They carry that 1 dodgeball back and pick up the second one, so now you're carrying 2. Then you go transfer ownership to the next group. They go and get the 3rd and final, and you have to carry all 3 dodgeballs back to your cone, have them under control. This is not a good example of that. And then sit down with all 3 dodgeballs behind the cone, raise your flag, and that is how we determine the winner for Peas in a Pod. And our final indoor alternate event is the basket flip. This is a fun yet challenging game that requires 4 people from your homeroom. One at a time, you will run to a laundry basket that is holding a dodgeball. You will flip the basket and the dodgeball together, and if it lands right side up without losing control of the dodgeball, you can move on to the next one. If you are unsuccessful, place the dodgeball in the basket, run back to your cone, tag your teammate, and then they can run and take their turn. You are not allowed to trap the ball. You're not allowed to use your body to try and balance the basket as it lands. Everything has to be clean. A clean flip and a clean landing. Judges will be watching closely. And then once you have all the baskets flipped and you get across and you raise that flag, you will be declared the winner of the basket flip. And you know what time it is now. It is time for us to unveil the Tug of War Championship brackets. and we are starting with the 6th grade. Let's go. Our first matchup is one for the main event. A former champion, somebody that has found his footing recently in Field Day glory, Mr. Hicks, will have the toughest challenge of all as he welcomes in the GOAT, room 15, Coach Shaw. As we move down the bracket, we have a battle between Mrs. Moore and Miss Adam. That is going to be a fierce one, no doubt. As we go across the bracket, we see Mrs. Gabriel taking on the newcomer, Mr. Elder. And our final matchup in round 1 will be Mrs. Miller taking on the defending Spirit champion, Miss Godwin. Best of luck to all your teams. It's going to be epic and exciting, and I cannot wait to see you on Field Day. And now we begin to set the table for the 7th grade bracket. A lot of hungry teams out there looking for the meal of champions. Let's get it going with round 1. Our first contest, Miss Mendoza on the top line. She's welcoming in the new guy. Not new to Noble, but new to 7th grade, Mr. Garrett. And as we move down into the bracket, the second matchup, the reigning defending champion from last year, Mr. Rogers, gets his shot at the tug-of-war champion from last year, Miss Perdome, and she said she's not giving up that trophy without a fight. Miss Keegan, the Queen of Spirit, is taking on Miss Kellum, who is looking for her first trophy in Field Day. And as we round out round 1, we see Miss Waring, a veteran of Field Day and Teacher of the Year, taking on the wild card, Miss Wilcox, and her homeroom. I'm saying best of luck to all of you. It's going to be fantastic and exciting, and I can't wait to see you at this year's Field Day. It's time to break out some cliches. Put the pedal to the metal. Let the big dogs eat. This is your 8th grade tug-of-war championship bracket, and I'm telling you, I'm looking at it right now, and there are some incredible matchups in round 1. There's a lot on the line for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, and I can't wait to break it down. So without further ado, let's jump into this. Round 1, here we go. Our first matchup, we have one of the best fan clubs that I've seen at Noble in a long time. Miss Fendick and her homeroom will be taking on Mrs. Yarborough, who is trying to crunch some numbers and get to round 2. And then our next matchup, this one right here, is a main event on any day. It is Miss Kevitz, the back-to-back Field Day champion from the past 2 years. And standing in front of her, there is the toughest task, maybe the greatest task. The OG, Molly Davis, who has not lost a tug-of-war battle since the year 2017. Let that sink in. And then as we go across the bracket right here, Miss Zay versus Miss Rogers. These two individuals, they're seeking a trifecta award, and the only thing missing from their resume is a tug-of-war title. And the only thing standing in the way of that is each other. That is going to be intense from the word go. And our final matchup in round 1, we have Miss Mustin, a former champion in so many ways, taking on Miss Mazzelia, one of the original Trifecta Club members. And that rounds out round 1 and sets the stage for one of the best tug-of-war tournaments that we're going to see. 8th grade, it's been 3 years that we've had with you. You've been amazing, exciting, and I just am so thrilled that we get to close the show with y'all at Field Day 2022. I can't wait to see you there.
Noble Middle School is the greatest school in the county, the state, and the country. We're better than them, and they know it.